Okay, I'm back. And I've had a little bit of time to think about this. It's actually still the same day. I was gonna leave it a day and think about, but I just finished streaming a different game, and I got thinking about EC. And there's one thing that stuck in my mind was I think in one of Lauren's diaries, she said there was a letter to her dad with the wrong name, and her dad is called Clancy Edward, and the letter was addressed to Edward Clancy, and Edward Clancy is EC. So I'm wondering if that letter is actually for this man here, Edward Clancy. So I think this man is Edward Clancy. But but do we know his surname? Is he a Roottrees? Let me think about this. Let's see if we can find that letter again before we go any further. I guess we could just read all of the diaries again. Maybe we should start a new notebook page for like EC Edward Clancy? Right. There's all this stuff going on here. 5 pieces, but it's quite short. Sam is the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. Elias hid her away at a local farm known as EC. Patricia was married off an older man and sent away. That was the end of that, almost. None of the next gens had ever met or heard of Patricia until she unexpectedly reappeared, now going by Patsy. After Patsy's husband died, she reunited with Ellie Jr., and they finally married in their 50s. Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. Wait, is this the second diary that we're reading? This is revisiting. Oh, I want to read the first diary then. So Lauren mentioned the wedding in her first diary without knowing Patsy's history. Ellie Jr. had never taken another lover. Lauren, ever romantic, quite appreciated this. Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottrees in the first place. Even though she was not part of the Clancy trust, he wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led Lauren's initial entry. Sam. Alright, is it this one? A Life Between Wars? Yeah. Alright, let's see if we can find this marriage that they're talking about. This is her complaining about Gwyn. Harrison Lane, Wild Bill. I just realised I'm sitting here silently reading. Like, this can't be thrilling watching, but I don't know what better way to do this. I mean, I've already read out these documents about lunch. Maybe I should like cut this. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it in, and if if you're bored of this bit, I guess just skip it because it's going to be this for a little while, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Right. What's this? Dynasty. Grandfather Elias announced he would step down. Oh yeah, there's that meeting that they have, isn't there? There's like that emergency meeting. Okay, this is the one about Sam, so this one is important. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for some time. Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny has sisters. Angie summoned all the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Who's Angie again? I can't remember who Angie is. Who's Angie? Angie. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for some time. As in this Gwyneth? Like, what authority does she have on this? Over Lauren, who is... Is there a different Gwyneth? Oh, this Gwyneth. It's probably this Gwyneth. Yeah, it must be Gwyneth Anderson. Yeah, there's no way it's this Gwyneth. So, Gwyneth had been insisting to include Sam, but people don't know who she is because she's, at this point, is allegedly an illegitimate daughter of Elias and Patricia. EC. Let's get back to this. Gwyn's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. So this is the wedding they're talking about, right? So Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands EC and John. Who's John? when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked the records and managed to confirm all three are on the books. Ellie, Miracle's youngest, not my brother, even chimed in. Apparently, when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. Now, none of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Ellie seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. Whatever happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Grandad making an exception now? Who's Angie? Can we figure out who Angie is again? Is there... Can we find Angie on this list, maybe? Angie. Angelica Morden? It must be Angelica Morden, right? And the Mordens are here? Aren't they? Caroline Morden, Zachariah Morden, Gwendolyn Roottrees, Morden James, Angelica Morden. Yes, here we go. So this is Angie. And she's the eldest of this branch. So Angie, Angelica Morden, James Morden. Okay. Let's go back to this. Angelica summoned all of the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. Gwen's in Paris. All of the next gens to a secret meeting, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boy, spent ages trying to unravel a mystery. I didn't recognize Sam. So Pops is Clancy Edward, and he's the one who's like, shush, it's complicated. And all of the next gens is this, so everyone on this rung was called to a secret meeting. I don't think there's anything else there for us. So where's the revisited? None of the 5 pieces were surprised. But I was quite shocked at everyone else, including Sam. She had been told her parents died. Apparently, Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias and Patricia Christensen. Patricia, the daughter of a local steel mogul, and Ellie Jr. harboured a secret romance at age 16. Hmm. So, EC could be Edward Clancy, but what does that mean still? We still haven't found that letter I was talking about. Hang on. It's this one, isn't it? Names. Okay, we'll get to it in a second. Ernie and the kids. Lucky to have her. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam couldn't receive any candy money after all and was essentially inheriting the right to rule. It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operations would pass to Samantha Roottrees for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. So he didn't like Zach being made president either. Is there a reason for that? Well, Zach is like the eldest son, though, isn't he? So, in terms of like old traditions, it makes sense, doesn't it? Unless it was to go down to the younger brother, like it goes Elias and then Clancy, and Miracle can just be off doing miracle things. I don't know. So he was not happy about that. Pop warned us away from the farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred him a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. His roommate, Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller. Is that John Miller? John Miller? Tilly, will you calm down? It's a bit weird that there's I'm wondering if I've just got this really weird feeling, right, that this guy's gay, and this is why no one talks about him. He's like outcast, and his roommate, John or Miller, John. So could this be like this guy is actually a Roottrees, Edward Clancy, and he was kind of outcast because he was a bit gay, and he's like, but he's still family, so he's still trusted to like look after the illegitimate daughter. So they're kind of kept together. This is my current theory. I don't have enough to back this up. This is really just a feeling right now. Where's the evidence? Where were we? Yeah. Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for abandoning her to that life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. But even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. So, I feel like this passage here, saying that she has a palpable hatred for Elias and Gwyneth and the Five Pieces, that makes sense if my theory about him being an outcast Rootree is correct. If he's an outcast Rootree and like they're living together now, like he probably told her about it, right? But why would Gwyneth want her back in the family if suddenly? I think we're onto something here. Remarrying. I think I understand this solid as a rock pun, that's because it's diamond, solid as a rock. It's probably that. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running the band. Right, there's nothing more here for us, I think. Our family's names are always unusual. Grandpa Elias was a believer in using names such as names of each generation to honour those in the last. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy. So now you see where my pop's name came from. One thing that's always been consistent in our family though is anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn. That goes for Miracle, Ellie, or even Clancy. With the women, however, it all goes out the window. I think Gwendolyn got her name from some... Even the government had problems. I remember once receiving a certified mail for an Edward Clancy Roottrees. I had to break the news to my father's name backwards. Oh, I think we've got it. Edward Clancy Roottrees. Roottrees Edward Clancy. Spouses. I think I'm quite confident that this is Edward Clancy now. Like, it just feels right. Now, the question is the spouse. He's got no children. I think this is right. I think it's John Miller. I like this. I like this quite a lot. Do I lock it in? I think there's nothing useful in this bit. It's just like Lauren saying she got angry. maybe this is important. I got angry when I met a new girl who I do not like. She was dirty and did not have a pretty dress. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged me. Hugged him. When I told her he was my Pop, she pushed me. I got angry and yelled at her, and Pop said to treat her nice. Then she said, "Your Pop is my dad." She screamed it loud in my ear. She was lying to me, and lying is not a nice thing. So I pushed her too. Then I got in trouble. Then Pop took her away. He told me, "Don't worry, I'm glad she's gone." So, was the dirty girl Sam from the farm? So if that was Sam came and gave Clancy Edward a hug, but then said that Clancy Edward is the dad? Why would she say that? Why would she say that? Well, Patricia is definitely real, and definitely her mother. But is Elias Jr. definitely the father? Like, could Clancy Edward be the father? But how would that happen? How could that happen if that was the case? Let's go back to this. So, is it suspicious that Elias Jr. never remarried as well? Or is it just like he really is just a romantic and only had eyes for Patricia? Or is Edward Clancy actually not the gay one, but is actually Elias who is gay? Or maybe nobody's gay apart from Caroline. Is it you, Elias Jr.? Or is it you, Edward Clancy? And you, Clancy Edward, are you a dirty dog? So, if we think along these lines for a second, if we imagine a world where the dirty girl, you dirty girl, the dirty girl Sam, in this diary entry that Lauren wrote, and she got angry at the dirty girl who came and hugged her dad, and then the dirty girl, I need to stop saying dirty girl. The dirty girl said that Clancy Edward is her dad. So if that's true, and Patricia is also Is Clancy Edward actually the dad? And that's why he's like, shush, it's complicated. And that's why he doesn't want to talk about it. Because he got... But he would have been too young? They would have been too young, wouldn't they? Because... Let's go back to this diary. Hang on. I feel like I need a new page. C.E. Sam's dad. So we go to this. Dirty girl equals Sam. And we go back to... We go back to this here, and we add this. I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, Essie and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way back to work. Upon hearing that, Zach even chimed in, apparently when he was riding his mini bike. Okay, I'm gonna try and... I'm going to try and get some kind of timeline going on with Ellie Jr. So he married Patsy in 1962. Was this diary entry is 1963? And it says somewhere here, Uncle Junior's wedding to Patsy last year. Essie and John. I need to... hang on. Oh, this is how you delete pages. Hang on. Let me delete these pages that we don't need anymore. This will help. This will help me. We don't need any of these. We need to keep Sam, probably. EC, CE, Sam's dad, Ellie Jr., Sam. So, what more can we say about Ellie Jr.? Where's the part about... Where's the part about her having the daughter? That's in the revisited one, isn't it? Why is the dad so, like, what is, like, his problem with this? Like, why is he, like, so upset about this? Where's the part where we were just looking at it? Apparently Sam was the illegitimate daughter Patricia, the daughter, and Ellie Jr. harbored a secret romance at age 16. She became pregnant, and after the birth, her father refused to let her see Ellie Jr. ever again. Her baby, Samantha, was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. That was the end of that, almost. When Patsy and Ellie Jr. finally married, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottree in the first place. Even though she was not part of the Clancy Trust, he wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry titled Sam. The thing is, right, if I'm confident about these two names, I don't need to work out anything else. Like, I don't need to know, like, if Clancy is like the dad or if Elias is the dad, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is this guy's a Roottree. And he was guardian to Sam. We get the picture of the next generation. Where's that? This. So... Attempt to recapture the spirit of the Five Pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Ellie to stand all the way on the left since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the four of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter behind in front of us. Grandma insisted that we include Sam even though we didn't want to. None of us understand why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. I think Miracle shouldn't be in this photo. Miracle Jr. is fine, but Miracle needs to get out of here. It must be weird being like the youngest of being like is Miracle like even younger than like Zach almost? Like I think that this is right. I think that we should just like I think I should just go for it. But at the same time I don't know. Like but what else can we check right now? Like what else is like worth checking before we lock this in? I think this generation is too far down the line now. Like we don't really. We can have a quick read of this. Oh my god. It says on the back of this photo in childish writing, it says November. So that's how, that would be an easier way to figure out that she's November. Okay. There are also a large number of cursive signatures. Oh my god. All this time, like, going all the way back to the start when I'm like so I was like, oh, one of these signatures is missing. No, it's not, it's just there in I see, now I understand. It's a good photo, that. Is this the same warehouse as the 5 pieces? It's the same warehouse each time, isn't it? I didn't notice that before. I did not notice that before. Alright, so what else can we figure out? Are we done here? So my working theory right now is there's 2 theories right now. So I think in all of my theories at the moment, this is definitely Edward Clancy Roottree and his roommate John Miller, and they're a couple. I think like this is confirmed to me in my head right now. And the thing I'm unclear about, I have 2 different theories about. I think Patricia in Every World is the mother, like completely sure about that. But then I'm not entirely sure about the father being Elias Jr., or if it is Elias Jr., why is Clancy Edwards so like uptight about it? And why did Samantha there's like a little piece missing here. Like allegedly Elias Jr. is the father of Samantha with Patricia. But Patricia went away and married someone else and came back and married Junior, but Junior had not. So like part of me was thinking that maybe EC is Elias Jr.'s like boyfriend, but if this is EC Roottree, I don't think it's going to be a brother and brother relationship. So I think we can discount that. I mean, it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but I don't think that that's going to be what the developer wrote. It might be. I mean, I don't know. But I think it makes sense putting John Miller there, and it makes sense putting Edward Clancy Roottree. And the reason he's outcast is because of, you know, bigotry in 1908, you know, or 1930 or whatever, whenever these guys were young. Because that's like a completely normal thing in those days to outcast someone for their sexuality or race or basically anything which isn't being straight and white. So I guess the question now becomes like, do I want to lock this in, or do I want to explore some more? Either way, whatever I choose here, if I end up rambling for a long time, don't worry, I'm going to timestamp the bit where I do decide to lock it in, so you can always skip ahead at any time if you get bored of my ramblings. So I'm gonna think on this for a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. I don't think this is gonna help us. This. Is there anything in the history tab which could be? Let's see. Christmas mission. What's this? Oh, it's one of the movies. Is this something we can... Did we search the... Or... Yeah, whatever. Business Watch, Watchman of the Year, 5-piece guarantee, Lon's Diary, Sound of Laughter, Leslie Florence, who's that? Roottrees versus RR. And this is about RR being illegitimate, right? Oh, right. I think I just need to... It's not Red Rootree. Guy and Patricia. Oh, that's for car crash, yeah. I think. Yeah, car accident. Alright. One last look over this all stuff. Watchmen of the Year 36, maybe? So Junior was born sometime between 1909 and 1922, but probably like 1912 or something like that. Alright, Miracle doing miracle things, kids. We've looked at all these photos, Teen Blast, Rootree, motors, the diaries are really useful. Brad Pitt. I think we're done. I'm not entirely happy that I haven't completely pieced together. I haven't completely pieced together like what happened, but I'm gonna go with the theory that Clancy Edward is the dad, and for whatever reason, Elias Jr. is just weird, and he just like maybe he's asexual, I don't know, but maybe he just like family comes first and he's covering up. Is this too far-fetched? And then maybe Clancy Edward is just an arsehole, and maybe it is just Ellie Jr.'s. So like that's the two worlds I'm living in. Like either this is like Ellie Jr.'s daughter and it was like a young fling and then they got back together and it was true love and he's like whatever, like there's no other strange thing going on. It's just like an illegitimate child that was covered up because that was a terrible thing in these days, and Clancy Edward is just an arsehole. But then why would unless the little girl isn't Sam at all, right? But like the little girl, it makes sense to be Sam because it's a dirty girl because she's on the farm. And why, if this was just some random dirty girl, would Clancy like take her away? It doesn't make any sense. If it was just some random girl, she would be ignored. So I think that little random girl was Sam as a young girl, and Lauren was too young to know better or care. But why does Sam think that Clancy Edward is the dad? If Edward Clancy told them? I think that there's something going on. I just can't prove it. But like I said a number of times now, whatever's happening there doesn't change this. So I'm going to confirm this. But first, here's the final optional entries you found. None! Oh, we fucked up. Okay, well... Oh no, we did get one.
So, you thought EC was Edward Clancy Roottree, and his partner was John Miller?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Oh. Really?
I'm Sam Madsen, though you know me as Samantha
I knew you as
Roottree.
Sam.
Yep, I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago. My book tells the truth about Elias, of 5 pieces, and
She's
my
still wearing the
parents.
same clothes.
Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers, Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller.
Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. So Elias Jr. is her father.
By
okay.
now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser. Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces. She just didn't know my full reasoning. My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man, but his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not.
My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man, but his identical twin, Clancy, and his Oh, they're twins! That's why! I see now. There we go. That's the bit that's missing.
At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand. Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable.
The
same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name
there was a
deemed
5 pieces
dirty
flavor.
Word. He became EC.
Oh, I missed that. So G for grape, E for elderberry, EC for egg, CE for cinnamon, EC, egg. 5 pieces add 1924. I think. Did we know this? Did we know this? Oh, that's interesting. CE. So we missed that clue.
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family. But Elias couldn't erase us from existence.
I like
Lauren
how it's actually...
never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
Yeah, I was right about the little girl. So...
Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard.
That also explains why... Because... That also explains why she thought he was a dad, because he looks the same. It's not because that was a father and she was told she was a father, because she'd be too young to really figure out anyway, so it's just going by looks. So this is something I just completely missed.
And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work. It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all, but there he is in the background, the 6th 5-piece. Patsy returned, and things got complicated for Elias.
Steamy
she fought
correspondence.
for my freedom, from a life she deemed unworthy.
How awful it is that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate and was sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin, an outcast forced to a life of labour under a wicked relative. Patricia Christensen. We missed this. This would have been really good to know this.
Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father.
Steamy Correspondence by Tina Angelina.
At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the 5 pieces. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat and that his grandchildren would become outcasts. His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president. But due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy, a real root tree. He nearly ruined the company. When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions. Ernie earned about $36. They got by on Debbie's salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point. Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry. Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock.
Ron did that. It's because Robbie tried to, steal from him, or he stole money for his gambling? RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock.
That sounded familiar. The Clancid Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future. His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart. My book can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as, and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the Trust, as anyone else. The Clancid Trust will secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money. The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record straight, thanks to you. As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has. Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. So thank you. You knocked it out of the park. With your expert work, the truth will come to light. And when it does, my share of the Clancid Trust is yours. Like I said at the beginning, set for life.
Wow, well, thank you, Samantha.
Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, everything finally feels complete. Unless a whole lot more root trees somehow appear from thin air, this is the last time I'll come knocking. Thanks again, and so long.
Thanks for all the fish. We did it! Yeah! Rolling, on down to the sea. Thanks to your hard work, Sam Madsen's book was published. I'm too slow. Life went on and new president took over the company. The Roottrees family faded from the news cycle. And then, everything changed. There's another mystery to solve. Roottrees Mania is now unlocked as a new game. Ooh! Here we go! I'm a secret root tree. Okay, well that's it. That's the game. I thought that was really, really, really good. It's one of the best deduction games I've played. Obviously since the Return of the Obra Dinn, which the game explicitly cites as a source of inspiration. So we've now unlocked a new game mode, which I will be playing, but maybe that'll be for another video, or maybe I won't make it a video at all. Maybe I'll just enjoy it myself. Can we... If we press continue, can we see the board that we've... Hey, we did get it right. Doom, doom, doom. I was a little bit worried at first though, because it looked like this was going to be blue still. So we were just missing that little bit of information that they were twins. Yeah. We were so close to the truth. I mean, we got the answer, but we didn't quite get the full truth. So I'm very happy with how we did. I particularly enjoyed like the earlier parts of the game when we're working out all the younger root trees. This was a really fantastic game. I highly recommend it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm a secret root tree. And thank you for watching. If I continue on with the root tree mania, watch out for that in the coming weeks, I guess. Until then, my brain has gone to jelly. So what am I talking about? Okay, I'm gonna say one more time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting. Maybe like the way I did it was different to the way you did it. Maybe it was cool. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe it pissed you off the way that I made my guesses. I don't know. But either way, let me know. Let me know what you think. Tell me in the comments. Like and subscribe and share. It's your boy Fluffertron on the YouTube. It's your boy. Like, share, subscribe, blah blah blah. Oh my god. You see what I mean? I am actually losing my mind. Okay. That's it for real now. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.